or just put the gun down before you kill someone.
Teenage Girl's Diary.
Hello and welcome to another Dollar Store Drive-In. I'm your host, Laura.
I'm Joel.
And we're the Newlydeads. And if this is your first time joining us, we want to say thank you for tuning in. And if this is not your first time, welcome back. We missed you. We're happy to see you again. Joel's giving them a heart. But if this is your first time, we like to explain a little bit about what our show is. We are a half-hour chat show where we talk about a movie that we watched, and typically that movie has a little bit of criteria. Mm-hmm. It needs to be under $5. It needs to be usually a sci-fi, horror, thriller sort of movie, and it needs to be a movie we've never seen. Sometimes we say it needs to be found in the wild, but it doesn't need to be, because sometimes we get things gifted to us. Sometimes we find things on the internets. Sometimes people say, hey, I made a movie. Do you want to watch it? And then we say, of course. So there's lots of different reasons why we say we don't find it in the wild anymore. But the majority of our movies, I would say that lately have been coming from Anne at my work. But Joel also finds them a lot at the Dollar Tree. And that's why we came up with the Dollar Store Drive-In title. Also, if you want to see us besides this show, we also do snack reviews and Follow Me Around, Code Orange. We're super big Halloween people. You can find us at thenewlydeads.com, which will link you to all of our shows and stuff. So you can find our YouTube channel through that way. We've got a podcast that we do on Spotify. I think there's information about our podcast on there, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And then we also do a blog post, so two of them. So Joel's got one where he reviews movies, and I have one where I review local-ish, sometimes small businesses, always small businesses. I don't want to say local, because if you've got a small business that you would like me to review, you can also contact me at contact@thenewlydeads.com. And I'd be happy to review your store, your shop, whatever you've got, and put it on our blog.
And share it with the world.
Yes, we are very big advocates of small business.
Grassroots marketing. Synergy.
Yeah. Yes. Do you think I covered everything?
All except one thing.
What?
We record in our house.
We do record in our house. That's why he's got a flat puppy there on his lap. That's Bailey.
You notice flat puppies or other flat puppies, that's Shaggy. This is Bailey. You might have heard Jack over in this fish tank swimming around making noise.
No.
But so if you see these guys roaming around, they're part of the show. They just don't review the movies.
No. And if you are listening to us, we suggest that you also watch us. So you can find that information again on our website.
Especially if you like dogs. You like dags?
You like dags? I like dags.
I fight you for it.
So, but this week we watched Shimmer. And I remembered because we just watched it last night.
With my youngest, who wasn't planning on watching it, I don't think, but they sat down.
They were hooked.
And they got hooked. And after it was over, they couldn't believe they stayed for the whole thing.
Yeah. A light so bright, it kills on sight.
That rhymes tonight. Let's go fight.
Lots of rhyming.
I guess so.
Should we get into the synopsis?
Yeah.
So then we can get on to the trailer.
So these people can see what we got ourselves into this week.
Yes. All right.
Which this one is not an Anne movie.
This is not an Anne movie. Yeah.
No, this was found at the Dollar Tree.
Nice. So this is one that you found. Good job, Joel. All right. Forensic scientist Dr. Thea Kate is called to a bizarre crime scene by baffled detective Kurt Glass. What she thought was the scene of a murder turns out to be something more terrifying. The body of the victim is devoid of all moisture and looks like broken glass. The victim's widow claims the killer is in the light. Soon, deaths are stacking up and the pressure is on for Dr. Thea Kate to unearth the truth. It becomes apparent that the true hunter is shimmering in the light. Are you afraid of the light? That's what it says on the back.
Oh, I was going to say, no, I like the light. I like the dark.
Yeah, I've never been scared of the light. I've been scared of the dark, but I've never been scared of the light.
I love the dark, but sometimes it gets a little creepy, but generally speaking, I enjoy it. I'm a fan. And the light as well. I like the light as well.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Do you think it's time for the trailer?
Yes.
All right. So the trailer is just a sun. A ball of sun, like a sun.
The sun is a massive
Because
incandescent
it's a
gas.
very scary light. Because it'll burn you if you stare at it too long. So
Where is
it's just like a little sun, just like waving, like up in the sky up here. That's the trailer this week.
not a
If this is your first
trailer.
time like listening to this, usually we talk about the trailer and then Joel pops out a trailer somewhere. But yeah, I just want it to be the sun. Maybe it's got wheels on it, if you can do that. Confused. Can you have it like float around? Anyways, all right. So we'll be right back.
Hello?
Seneca PD, Dr. Kate.
Speaking.
I'm patching you through to Detective Bloss.
Thea.
Hey, Kurt, what you got?
Dead guy. Sort of. It's weird. Just get down here.
Be there soon.
Mrs. Hardaway, this is Dr. Thea Kate. She's our head of forensics. She's gonna help us figure out this thing. This is Margaret Hardaway. She lost her husband tonight.
Well, we're definitely looking at human tissue here, but it's weird. Like all the moisture was removed. What?
5 total now, but somehow someone keeps turning the victims' bodies into that.
Wait, are you sure this is safe for Trevor in the house?
It's like an animal.
An animal made of light. How does that make sense?
At one point in time, this was Terrence Hardaway.
So this thing's a hunter. Does that mean you're its prey?
The last 6 months, you've just not been the same.
This light or something is killing people. I think it's coming after me. Captain Rose, are you interrogating me?
Dee, this is not a game. What is your problem?
What is your problem?
There's no way that can go through class, right?
I need some help in here.
She said it was in the light.
And we're back. Bailey decided to sit up. He's going to help Joel read that stuff. And I didn't do a drawing this, or like I didn't
Just collapse.
flaps.
Flapped. He just
Yeah, he
flapped right
flapped.
there.
And I didn't do any drawings and I didn't do any notes, but it's all up
okay.
here.
It's
Okay.
okay.
What you got?
So, all right. So when we watch a movie, I take notes so that we have, guideline. It was difficult taking notes this week for some reason.
Because
And-
we were talking and laughing too much.
We were talking and laughing too much. And so I draw pictures and I think she saw some of these already when there's only 3. But, there's
I didn't see that. Oh, I did see
there's
the corn.
that guy with the
light bulb.
the underbite monster guy. There's the corn on the cob that I don't know why I drew it. It just happened. And then the light bulb that's illuminated with using the bloom tool. on
I
Procreate.
see that.
Thank you, Procreate. Not a sponsor.
Does it say Grr?
Yeah, because he's The light bulb was angry.
Oh,
'Cause
it's like
the
a light monster.
You know? Yeah, it's grrr, the light is
Oh,
angry.
I see.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, Shimmer is from 2021, so it's a fairly recent film. Although it felt kind of like it was from the 90s, late 90s.
Yeah.
Currently sitting at 5.8 out of 10 on the Internet Movie Database. Shocker. This was written and directed by Rob Ciano. Is that how you say that? Ciano? Ciano.
Sure.
I'm going to say Ciano. Who both wrote and directed Real Focus Fandom. Sorry, my handwriting is terrible. Which is kind of like a thing about being in fandoms. And Friendship and the Boy Who Lived. That's the name of it. Friendship and the Boy Who Lived. Wrote and directed both of those. That's all. That's their entire credits. And then Shimmer. This stars Nicole Galicia, who was in the fantastic, phenomenal, the Sharknado of motorcycle movies, Torque, which should have had like 17 sequels. Did you ever see Torque?
No.
With
is that her?
Yeah, with Martin Henderson, I think. It's about people who ride around on motorcycles and they wear a lot of like very light colors, like greens and pinks and blues. And it was sponsored by Mountain Dew, so there's a lot of Mountain Dew in it. And they like fight each other on motorcycles, but it's like the motorcycles are driving and they'll like fly up in the air and like in the air with the motorcycles.
Yeah,
it is redonkulous, but it is fun, and I like it very much. And I've only seen it a couple times, and it should be on the shelf, but it is not.
All right then.
I'm waiting for that Criterion Special Edition 6-disc Blu-ray spectacular that will never happen. She was also in Django Unchained, which is Quentin Tarantino. If you haven't seen it, phenomenal. And Any Given Sunday, the football movie directed by Oliver Stone. Had to think about it for a minute.
I was going to say she looked familiar.
So, yeah, I mean, she's a little out of context here, because she's typically a supporting character, a supporting actress.
Yeah, this time she was the lead.
Took front and center in this film. This also stars Kazi Tauginas?
Taug.
Taug. Sorry, for Will and Grace fans, you'll understand that reference. Taug. Who was the weird magical beard guy. Who is known for the film John Wick.
So many beard changes.
He was in The Equalizer 2, which I loved the Equalizer show when I was a kid with Edward Woodward. Like, I was fanatical about it. Then they made the movies here recently and a TV show with Queen Latifah. But they made 3 movies so far with Denzel Washington. I love Denzel Washington. I love The Equalizer, but I've yet to see any of the 3 films. And I was just having a conversation about a month ago with your dad, maybe 3 weeks ago or so, with your dad about them. And they were telling me how good they were, and I'm like, I can't believe I still haven't seen them. I should just buy them, and they should be on the shelf because they're all things I love. But anyway, he was in part 2. And he was in Dolomite Is My Name, which is the Rudy Ray Moore story, which we watched for a podcast that used to be on called 41 Gun 14. And
I watched it with you.
Eddie Murphy was Dolomite.
I watched it with you. Yeah, maybe that's where I recognized him from.
Fantastic biopic. If you've not seen it, check it out. And then I added one other name here, Jacques Mitchell, just because I felt like we needed one more person because there was kind of light on the content there. They were in Lock, Load, Love, which sounds vaguely
pornographic.
I wasn't going to say it, but
that's a word.
I was being winky.
Not a swear word.
They were in Nancy Newark, which sounds like vaguely maybe from like the 70s. I don't know. And Four Corners Road, which that's it. That was the entire filmography as far as I remember. Not a lot to speak of. So at this point, my wife looks at me lovingly with longing gaze from across the room and says,
"What did you think?"
And that's where we start talking about the reality of this film. So, like I said, my kid sat down,
weird,
was glued because
it was funny.
It was so entertainingly bad.
Not scary at all.
Not scary. Wasn't even really like a good sci-fi story. Wasn't really a good detective story.
It was goofy.
It was just really.
It was goofy.
strange.
Like, it starts off with a guy finding a deer in the woods, and it was like shattered into like thousands of pieces, and it
Partially
looked like glass or like crystal. We were joking
Or
around that it
rock
was
candy.
rock candy is what
Or
it looked
crystal
like.
meth.
Crystal math is it?
Crystal math, yeah. She has her own show on PBS where
Yes.
she teaches kids how to multiplication and stuff.
Yes, she teaches them chemistry.
Yeah.
Crystal math.
She's
Get
like,
it?
it's time to cook numbers.
It's time to cook the books.
Let's get to it, best friend of mine. Anyway. Sorry, go on.
Anyway, so it starts off that way where this guy is just like ridiculously running through the woods and his face is glowing like really bad CGI, and it's like splitting into like all these like little like glass pieces, and then he just like breaks into like a billion pieces, but his clothes are still there, and so it's like a body shape of glass shards kind of. And then
it really needed a song by Drowning Pool. That would have been a nice touch.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden when they were starting to fall, you hear
let the body set the floor.
And then as it went,
Maybe just like
that would have been much more effective. But instead we get Heart of Glass. No, we didn't get Heart of Glass either,
I was singing that though.
Was what we were singing, yes. I just, the first thing I wrote here is what in the actual hell is happening, because I couldn't figure it out, because that's exactly the beginning.
Yeah. And she's the coroner, so she gets called or whatever because, right? Was she the coroner? She was like she's a doctor.
Yeah, she worked with.
I think she's in the coroner's
magic
office.
Beardy Nazi guy.
Well, he's a detective.
But he's a detective, but they work together. Like they're almost like partners. It feels like.
Yeah, it
felt
that way. I think it's just a small town.
Yeah, I think she's the coroner, but I called her the doc-tective because whenever she's there, she's acting like she's investigating the case. Which, if you are a coroner and you're working with the police, you're like a forensic detective essentially.
Yeah.
You're like trying to figure out what happened, cause of death, etc. I mean, you're not supposed to be solving crimes, and you're not. What's the guy, Quincy?
Right.
But you still have a hand in it. But I said doc-tective tonight on NBC. But
there was also like no decent people in this movie. Like everybody was kind of a jerk.
I mean, her husband was
cheater.
Yeah, but he didn't.
No, but you don't know that.
Yeah, they proved. But at the end of the movie,
you don't know that in the beginning.
Well, no, but by the end of it,
so
you realize that he was not
right. But no, but he thought he did too.
He didn't know. He just said he blacked out or whatever. So.
Yeah, he thought he went home with a dude or whatever because he was bisexual, and then you could tell she didn't trust him, and so she was kind of a jerk to him a lot, and thought he was going to cheat on her or something like that, and she was kind of a jerk to a lot of people in the movie.
But you find out at the end after he risks his life to help save her and all this and everything that he was drugged and he was essentially
hugged.
I was going to avoid that word. But assaulted. And so it wasn't his fault. It just kind of happened because somebody took advantage of the situation because they had nefarious motives.
Yes, he was assaulted.
So he was not a bad guy in the end. But one of the main characters in this film is the detective that she was mentioning. And it was somebody in the continuity department really dropped the ball because in every other scene, he had different facial hair. Like he'd have a mustache that was vaguely Hitlerish. Sometimes he had a goatee. Sometimes he had did he have a full beard at any point? Or was it
he
just
had just a mustache and a goatee, kind of thing. Stubbly.
But the whole movie is 2 or 3 days worth of time, maybe.
He'd be going to go pick her up or something. They were okay, they were talking in a room, and then they're okay, let's go get in the car and go investigate. And then he'd have no facial hair. And then they'd get out and he'd have a beard again.
It's he's pushing in the car
growing beards and then sucking them back up.
Then he gets when they're not looking, he's shaving. He's like, I gotta change it up.
Yeah, whoever was in charge of their continuity or whatever should be first of all mad at him because he apparently shaved his face and he shouldn't have.
Right, I mean, I don't know how long it took them to film the movie, but yeah, somebody should have had Polaroids of, because that's what they do. They take Polaroids of where you're at when they stop filming so that they can put you right back in that same situation. So you do have some continuity. And it was glaringly obvious. My kid noticed it. You noticed it. I didn't notice it because I was writing notes, but then once they told me, I did notice it. It was so confusing and weird.
And like the monster is the light monster or whatever, and it was just like kind of ridiculous. It was like these like little fairy kind of looking things that were just like floating around. It would come out of like the skin flakes that they would like shave off of the like
I never
the broken
that.
pieces of body glass or whatever, and like just suck into someone. And I don't know. It was just like them trying to figure that out. And then they had like this whole side thing towards the end.
Oh yeah, what was that about?
Where it was like the police chief was like calling the coroner, and he's like, I need to come down here, and I need to like ask you some questions or whatever about someone stealing Rufalin from the medicine cabinet or whatever at the police office,
Keep it in the bathroom,
whatever, from like the police stores or whatever, like got some Rufalin. Yeah. And he thought she was part of it or something like that. And so he's like, just kidding. I don't, but I do need you to come down here and talk. It's
kind of like a more extreme version of the Michael Scott prank where he pretends to fire Pam in one of the first episodes and then does it to Aaron later on. Same type of thing, but with more dire consequences and a lot more severe.
Yeah.
It was a very weird choice.
Yeah.
And I feel like almost like they were writing the script and like, man, this is only 42 pages. This has got to be an hour and a half. We need to add some more time.
Like, we need to add an actual bad guy, and let's go ahead and do that.
They added this extra subplot.
And they have her watch this like video where people are like, their voices are masked, and in the interrogation room, and like their voices are masked, and like they're like blurry, but it's obviously one of the people that she interacts with all the time, like.
And the guy that's asking her to, view the video, the one that blatant said you stole it or you're involved. The police.
It wasn't the police chief that was interviewing him. It was a different. It was like one of the like cop, like another cop or whatever, because he was like, "Are you recording this?" or whatever, and he got all mad.
Yeah.
But like the only person who had like a very like bad potty mouth in the whole thing, right? Like the guy that swore the most was obviously the one that, because he was the one that was still swearing in the video,
The exact same way, like you'd dropping F-bombs left and right, and it was very. And why was the interrogation video like a witness protection program situation?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it if they were trying to make sure she didn't know who was in the video. Like they're like, we don't want you to know because this is an ongoing investigation. But it seemed more like they. It was just a weird choice that the director made. Maybe I don't know. I didn't understand it. And I wrote here that the movie took a weird dark turn. It was just the whole thing was like that. There was very strange choices, and like the abilities of the light monster were kind of defined but not defined.
Yeah, because they were like looking at it and investigating it, and it was like in an aquarium thing with like the little arm things that the guy was like trying to play around with it.
Gloves.
And he's like, "Ooh, it's warm. They're trying to go through the glove." And then she's like, "Well, they can't go through the glove, right?" And he's like, "I don't know." And so he's just like playing around with them, and they're floating around his hand.
Oh, I like this.
And then he's like, "Oh, they're really trying to get in the glove." And then she's like, "Take your hands out." And then he takes his hands out, and they're watching it, and they're like, well, can't light go through glass? Can these things go through glass? And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I can go through glass. And it just starts floating out. I'm like
it's a sentient light monster, but it couldn't figure out that it could go through glass, but it knew the word glass.
Yeah, it was weird. And then
it started chasing them around. And some people like went into their eyes and like took a while to take effect. Some people it went into and they like turned them into
their chest.
A monster, and they would like roam around like
kind
of like running around and hitting into stuff
with their like faces turning into glass, and then like they like would shatter themselves.
Then there's like a big scene at the end where they're trying to trap it in their house, and they've got this elaborate plan, and the thing's like almost like a human form in a way, but it flies around and it's like chasing them around the house. And then are we calling spoilers? I mean, it's 2021. It's fairly new, but you don't need to see this. Let's just put it that way. We won't tell you how. We'll leave it that way. We won't tell you what happened with the side story. We won't tell you how it actually ends. But needless to say, the light monster is defeated. I would say captured.
Kinda.
And instead of like trying to come up with a way to make sure it doesn't ever get out again, like I don't know, encasing it in concrete inside the trap that they made and then dumping it into the Mariana Trench, maybe that would have worked because there's no light down there. If it gets far enough down, it's not going to have any source of. Anyway, they don't. They just put it in a little metal box inside the trap and then bury it about a foot in the ground.
Just in a field. And I was like, what if they decided to like excavate that area and like build some houses or something? I was like, that is the lamest spot to put.
The credits start rolling and
they like show like it's not even a digger or anything like that. It's like
supposed to be like a bobcat or something.
Yeah.
It's just a guy on a tractor type thing that drives by, just kind of
he looks like one of those like ball picker upper things from like the golf course, like when the people are hitting the things and you've got that like plasticky glass like thing or whatever.
I mean, a dog could have dug it up. It was so shallow.
It was so shallow, and it was just literally in like a tackle box.
And if you own property or you've lived in a space where you've been there long enough to see the erosion of time, if there's enough rainfall and whatnot, you can see how the ground shifts, and with enough time that would have shifted and it would have eventually been exposed. I guess they're like, it's not our problem, but that's future people's problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But why would you do that knowing how much trouble it was to get in there to begin with?
And where did it even come from?
And there's no
are there more of them somewhere?
Right. Is it the only one? Did they trap half of it and the other half is still roaming around turning people in the glass? It just was
dumb.
And we were like, well, maybe there's more at the end credits. They'll show them actually getting out or something, and that'll be set up for Shimmer 2, the shimmering ring, a ding ding. But they don't. There is no further credits.
No.
So if you can't tell, we didn't really. It was fun,
dumb, but I had fun watching it.
It was fun watching it. If you have a group of people and you've got nothing to do, it's currently on Tubi.
It's silly.
Not a sponsor, just telling you where to find the film. And so.
So what would you give it on a scale of, up to 5? I don't know. Crystals, I guess.
And I should have thought of this last night. I should have given it an actual number and I didn't. But I think where I'm going to end up, just because we had such fun with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 1.
Me too.
Because
it was
you and
fun.
I and my kid
I was laughing.
had a good time.
Yeah. Ash had a fun time.
And it was just good enough that it wasn't bad, but it was good bad. It was in that good bad category. The acting was awful. Nobody in this film was very good.
Yelling at each other and it just they were grouchy the entire time. It just wasn't very
but it was
comfortable to watch.
It was never dull.
No, it was funny. It was silly and ridiculous.
So if it sounds like it's up your alley, we say check it out.
But if they don't want to watch this, what should they watch?
So here's where I had trouble, because there's no light attacking movies that I could think of off the top of my head, and I didn't want to go digging around looking for something. One movie kept popping up into my head over and over again as being kind of a very similar thing, where you've got this kind of innocuous killing agent that is out to do harm and apparently has some sort of sentience, but you can't really see it all the time, and you don't exactly know what the reason is, where it came from, why it happened, where it goes, how it ends. You know where I'm going with this?
Maybe.
So I decided to go with a film that is very unpopular, but I enjoyed it. It's actually on the shelf. 2008, M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening.
I knew it! I
didn't want to tell my kid because they're very curious what I chose. But that movie's about essentially plants and trees killing people. And there's a scene towards the beginning where people look like they're mass, taking their lives through suicide. And and it's disturbing. Like it's justifiably like an upsetting scene, like people jumping off of buildings, laying in front of a combine.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my God, what the heck? And then, by the end of it, Marky Mark saves the day, and whatever happens, happens. And I like a good post-apocalyptic like movie or whatever.
Hey, tree.
Say hi to your mother for me.
Say hi to your mother for me.
Hey there, plant. You throwing that stuff in the air, making everybody die? Say hi to your mother for me. I gotta run now. See you, plant. Sorry, never really attempted a Mark Wahlberg before.
That was fun though.
Guess I have the right underwear on for that. So, The Happening. It was an underwear on.
I knew you were gonna say that. Actually, when
She's
you were
smart.
saying like something that was like you couldn't see it, blah 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 blah, and I was like,
Did you know last night, or you just figured it out?
No, I just figured it out when you were talking about it.
She's wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
She is wicked smart.
Smart. Okay, so I get to blow this one up, and hopefully I won't freak our dog out.
That'll be all right. So we're revisiting an old friend.
Yeah.
We're back here again. This time, second movie on the list.
Oh, is it? Okay, so it's classic slasher collection. So this is an Anne one, right?
No, that was another Dollar Tree thing.
This is one. Oh, is it a Dollar Tree one, or is it the one that you found at that thrift store?
Nope, it was a Dollar Tree.
Oh, okay, you said it's the second one.
Second one. Yep. We watched the first one, which was "Don't Look in the Basement," I believe. Right.
We did.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a yeah, these are like classics or whatever. They're older movies. This one's called Scream Bloody Murder
from 1973, the year before I was born.
It says, in this gornographic twist of Oedipus Rex, a man with a hook for a hand goes on a bloody killing spree. That sounds interesting. It's pretty short. It's only an hour and 25 minutes, but I guess that's kind of par for the course for
you were looking at
in the 70s, maybe.
Like 42nd Street Grindhousey kind of movies, B-roll pictures.
And it's rated R.
And the poster is fantastic. It says the first movie, first gornography, which I think is clever marketing. And if you've ever heard the old urban legend about the hook for the hand, that's kind of what it looks like in some of the images when I was doing the research on who was in it and what they've been in before.
Right.
The lead guy has a hook for a hand, and so I'm guessing it's not going to be very sensitive to the fact that I don't know if he's disabled or what, but I'm sure it's not going to be a modern day kind of thing. But it's interesting. I'm curious to see it, and it's something outside of our normal wheelhouse.
Yes, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Awesome. Well, once again, thank you so much for watching. If you stayed till the end, especially, we love you. And until next week.
Keep it cheap and creepy.
Bye.
Go look after your mother and sister. Where are you going? I'm gonna finish this.
Goodbye, Tom.
I'm a murderer